In December 1948, a body was found on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The body was a man who was dressed impeccably in a suit with polished shoes, and his head was slumped against a wall. He looked like he had just stepped out of a high society gathering. But he was dead, and no one had a clue who he was. There was no wallet, no ID, not a single clothing tag. His fingerprints? Useless. They matched no known record in any database across Australia. Autopsy? Even stranger. Doctors suspected poison, but toxicology came back cleaned and no heart attack or shock. No barbiturates. No alcohol. Nothing. It was like he had just stopped. The press called him the Somerton Man. For days, police were stuck, until one detective ran his fingers along the man's waistband and felt something odd. A hidden pocket. Inside, a tightly rolled piece of paper. A fragment torn from a rare book. The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. 2 words were typed on it. Tam, S-H-U-D. Translation? It is finished. Kutio, a grave. Freshly dug. A brass plaque that read, Unknown Man. The anatomist embalmed him, preserved his body, took a cast of his bust. But no one came forward. No one claimed him. 8 months later, a man walked into the Adelaide police station. The stranger. The detective said, I think I found something strange. He explained. Right after the body was found, he had discovered a copy of the Rubaiyat in the back seat of his car. The car had been parked near Somerton Beach. He forgot about it until he saw a newspaper article. Sure enough, the last page was torn. A perfect match to the paper in the dead man's pocket. Even crazier, inside the book, scrawled in faint pencil, was a phone number and a series of strange, broken letters. Gobab, Mliawi, Tpimpinit, Mliaboyak, Itn Samscab, a code, one that remains unsolved to this day. The phone number? Traced to a nurse named Jessica Thompson. She lived just blocks from where the Somerton Man was found. The moment she saw the cast of the man's face, she nearly fainted. But she denied knowing him. Jessica said, No, I don't know him. But her body betrayed her. The detectives pressed. Jessica said she once gave a copy of the Rubaiyat to a man named Alfred Boxall. An investigation was made on the man Alfred Boxall. Was this his copy? Was he the Somerton Man? No, he was not. Boxall was alive, and well, and still had his book. Back to square one. But this wasn't just about a dead man. No, this was bigger. Cut 2. U.S. Defense Intelligence Files. Top secret. 1948. Let me explain this before we go back to the story. During that same year, Cold War espionage was at its peak. Australia was crawling with Soviet spies. The Venona intercept confirmed it. Russian operatives were embedded deep. And the Somerton Man? He turned up dead just miles from Woomera testing range, Australia's most secret missile launch site. Coincidence? Some think not. Yet what happened to the Somerton Man has not been found. A leaked memo, years later, hinted at an unidentified foreign operative going missing in late 48. Description? Medium build. Late 40s. Last seen wearing a suit. It was him. Had to be. But there's more. Back to Jessica Thompson. Turns out, she worked in signals intelligence during the war. A communications expert. Fluency in Morse code. She had clearance. And the book? The Rubaiyat was used as a cipher key during World War II by Allied spies. This wasn't just a strange death. It was a message. In 1977, on her deathbed, Jessica confessed. There's more. The book wasn't his. Jessica said, whose was it? The detective asked Jessica. Jessica paused, then whispered, he wasn't alone. Wait, what? The detective asked. Just then the detective remembered an old crime scene photo. In the background, a figure, standing, watching, face just out of frame. We missed it. Everyone missed it. But he was there. Someone was watching when the Somerton Man died. Before we continue this thrilling story, please subscribe to this channel if you'd like to hear more true crimes events like this. Also comment, and share this content to your friends and loved ones. Let's recap. In December 1948, a body was found on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The body was a man who was dressed impeccably in a suit with polished shoes, and his head was slumped against a wall. He looked like he had just stepped out of a high society gathering. But he was dead, and no one had a clue who he was. There was no wallet, no ID, not a single clothing tag. His fingerprints? Useless. They matched no known record in any database across Australia. We thought the mystery ended with a body, but now we had a second man. Unnamed, unseen, unknown, and he was watching. Let's go back to 2022, Adelaide. A cold case team reopens the Somerton investigation. DNA technology had advanced, enough to extract a viable sample from a hair sealed in plaster, from the cast of the man's bust. They ran it, cross-referenced global ancestry databases, and then, match, Carl Webb, born 1905, Melbourne, an engineer, a poet, a man with no known death record. But something didn't add up. Webb had no known ties to Adelaide, no travel records, no relatives in the area, until they looked deeper. He had a brother-in-law, George Marshall. Guess where George was found dead? On a beach in Sydney in 1945, clutching a copy of the Rebate. Another beach, another mystery, another man with the same book in his hand. This wasn't random. Investigators dug into Marshall. Surprisingly, he is a linguist, with rumored ties to intelligence operations. His death? Ruled as a suicide. No follow-up done. No code book recovered. Except now, two men, linked by marriage, linked by death, were found on separate beaches with the same rare book. Is this a coincidence? Or a message? Let's go back to the shadowy figure in the photo. The photo has been enhanced and stabilized. Looking at the shadowy figure in the photo, they noticed a scar above the brow, a trench coat, collapsed collar, then a breakthrough. An amateur sleuth posted the photo on a facial recognition forum. Result, 87% match. To a man named Tibor Kaldor. We will stop here for today. Part 2 continues tomorrow. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, like, and this channel for more amazing content.